because I spoke out and did love letters to Ferguson and Mike Brown when they told me, do not you dare talk about anything.
So this was just really, that was the nail in the coffin.
Yep.
You were already on the track to.
That's right.
This was just, okay, thank you for giving us even more reason.
Right.
Is what you're saying. Okay.
Right. And I would never conform from the go. And so if you have a girl like me that comes to town, and the majority of how you support your town is through food and alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I don't drink alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I don't eat meat. Mm-hmm. Well, now I'm not.
You don't fit.
I don't fit. Mm-hmm. Never have.
Mm-hmm. But you said Mayor Knowles was very kind, right?
Always.
You had a good relationship. He wasn't able to assist you in any way?
He's terrified. Now, this comes to another thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you feel about this, but something I have to try to explain to people quite often. Like if they want to blame President Obama or they want to blame somebody, okay? He's not the boss of the show. Mm-hmm. There's someone that puppets and manipulates him. And
there's always more than one person.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so, back to the thing with me, what isn't that what we were, how are we trying to tie that together? I'm sorry, I just lost my track.
So we were just talking about how you already had sort of these issues prior to what happened with Ferguson. They didn't want you to speak out. That was the nail in the coffin.
Yes. And like I said, I don't socialize the way they do. Mm-hmm. I don't have the same religion as they do. Mm-hmm. And I don't run in the same circles. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that you should keep someone out of what they call a community of choice. Mm-hmm. Now we have to ask, maybe what community of choice means is that they choose who they let in. Mm-hmm. My dumb butt thought it meant you choose to be in this community. That's the way it's marketed.
Okay.
And here again, I think a lot of the pain comes from these people, like you remember on the Mike Brown video where someone said on Facebook that they should put a fence around Ferguson. Remember that?
Well, yeah, and Trump said that it's one of the most dangerous places to come to currently. It's one in the world. Second
in the world. I've been doing some videos on St. Louis recently, so you may find it interesting what I've logged in on my show in the last few weeks, because I've been speaking about loving where you live and why I'll continue to stay in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah. That would be interesting. Mm-hmm. So we come back to this fence around Ferguson.
Yes, and the actual person that posted that has the very name of this town, and his grandpa was the health commissioner. So, can you see the pain in people that ran with what they call the Great White Flight, and then they condemn from the places they are? The reason why that is because when they get to where they're going, the people that have been there and are established don't want them there. Mm-hmm. And so the pain just perpetuates over and over and over. Mm-hmm. And we're all a bunch of refugees with no home. Mm-hmm. In the future, after all these things pan out and these ways have been put to bed, what this home will become is what they call a CVAC center. And I think of it like the old block home. You know, if somebody's in trouble, they can come here and get help. If they need some kind of guidance or counseling, they can get that. Mm-hmm. And of course, I will always have a license to do hair, which means I can legally touch someone.
Right.
So, however I serve, it's always been more than hair. Yeah. And that's the hard thing for people to wrap their minds around. And that's why my clients and friends are very loyal to me. Yeah. And they'll do whatever they need.
Well, it seems that from a policy perspective, you would want a business in the community that also had a civic interest in the community that they're located in. Mm-hmm. You would want them to have residents so they feel invested
Right.
in that community.
Right.
So it seems like you would fit those categories.
You would think, wouldn't you? I can't be that bad.
You would think. So it's very, very interesting that from the beginning you felt like you've been blackballed in this community where you reside, where you take a civic interest.
Right.
And where you've chosen to place your livelihood, because that's what businesses are, right?
Right.
You know, we've seen with Ferguson some businesses being hit. Well, this is where my investment is. It's not just pull into a trust fund and rebuild. This is what I have.
This is all I have.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it seems, and I'm going to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
If Ferguson hadn't happened, there would have been some sort of trauma for you, your hair emporium.
Absolutely.
But with Ferguson, the incident surrounding Mike Brown's death happening, it either sped up the process or intensified the trauma that you experienced.
I would say that's exactly a correct statement. Yeah.
Why stay?
Because in the end, good and love and light will prevail. There is nowhere to run and hide. I have clients that want to run